How's it going, guys? My name is Luke, and welcome back to another video. We're going to rank every single film I saw in January of 2025, from worst to best. I want to start doing these monthly rankings now, so every single month I will rank every new release I saw that came out in that certain month. So, yeah, this is going to be actually kind of fun. I'm actually excited to do this for you guys. So, and also just so you guys know, this list is my opinion, and these are the movies that I personally would rank them. So, let me know your list down in the comments below. What movies did you guys see in January? Rank them. I would love to see the list. So hit that subscribe button down below, that notification bar right next to it so you never miss a post. Hit that thumbs up and share this video. You guys know what to do. Anyways, let's begin with the ranking. So coming in at number 8, the worst film I saw in January is Back in Action. This is a Netflix exclusive film starring Cameron Diaz and Jamie Foxx. Directed by the guy that did the first Horrible Bosses and also Baywatch. Yeah. I mean, I love Horrible Bosses. I don't really care for Baywatch. I mean, it's fun enough, but it's so stupid. This one I was kind of excited with the caliber of talent because, you know, it was Cameron Diaz's first film in over a decade. And that's crazy to think about. So, and I love Jamie Foxx, so I was like, okay, maybe this might be good. And it turned out it was just another generic, unfunny, and uninspired Netflix action comedy. I did not find this film funny. I mean, I think Cameron Diaz and Jamie Foxx, I think, have good chemistry. Even though their performances are not very good, their chemistry was decent. If you're just scrolling through Netflix, just skip this one altogether. This is not a very good movie. But if you're just looking for some time to kill, or maybe like some background noise, just put this one on in the background. I wouldn't even say watch this one, to be honest with you. I really did not like this movie, and it is my least favorite film of January 2025. Now for my number 7, this one was actually pretty close to being my worst film of January, but I just didn't think that Back in Action I could really see myself rewatching at any point. This one I could see myself rewatching for one certain actor that at least kept the film entertaining. Number 7 is Flight Risk, or the famous tagline would say, "Y'all need a pilot?" Yeah, I was actually kind of excited for this movie when I heard that it was Mel Gibson and it starred Mark Wahlberg. I love I love Mel Gibson as a director and as an actor. I mean, say what you will about him as a person. I mean, he is a very talented filmmaker and a very talented actor. And again, I was really excited to see Mark Wahlberg in this, even though I could not stand his bald head. For a while, I thought it was a bald cap, but a buddy of mine corrected me and said that he actually shaved his head. So I'll give credit where credit is due for the commitment for Mark Wahlberg. As for the movie itself, though, oh my God. By the first frame, like this look at the CGI motel, I literally was just like, this is the movie I'm signing up for, and this is the movie that Mel Gibson actually directed. This is a movie that Mel Gibson was just like, okay, I need to make something so I can pay my bills. And he decided to come out with this. And I really did not like this. Michelle Dockery was fine. And like I said, Mark Wahlberg was at least entertaining and actually kind of kept the movie afloat for me. Like with his really like over-the-top performance, even though I still could not stand his bald head. Topher Grace was awful in the movie, though. The green screen, the CGI, and everything like that looked awful. The dialogue did no favors for Michelle Dockery, nor did it do any favors for Mark Wahlberg. At number 6 is a movie I actually kind of forgot about until doing this list, which is Den of Thieves 2 Pantera. Now, I really enjoyed the first Den of Thieves. I thought it was a really fun little Heat ripoff, but I don't know. I enjoyed that one. I like Gerard Butler and O'Shea Jackson Jr. in that one. So I was interested to see what they would do with the sequel. And honestly, this sequel is honestly at times kind of a chore to get through. I mean, I liked it overall, but there were times where it was so damn slow where I was just like, okay, is this really what you're building up for? I don't like this. But when it got to the third act and the heist sequence, which is literally one of the only action sequences, same thing with the car chase in the third act, that you will get out of the entire movie, I still honestly thought the film was pretty enjoyable. I mean, I liked seeing Gerard Butler and O'Shea Jackson Jr. together. I actually think they have pretty good chemistry with one another. So, I mean, it's one of the biggest positives I can really say about it, aside from the heist sequence and also the awesome car chase in the third act. But this movie took forever to end. It took forever to end, and I was just like, oh my god. Okay, wrap it up, wrap it up, wrap it up. And it still wouldn't wrap up. There was like another 5 minutes left, and I was just like, oh my god, wrap up. And once it wraps up, I'm like, okay. And then the director has confirmed 2 more films, so I don't know exactly where they're going to go with 2 more films. It's probably going to be the same stuff, but I really have no idea. I mean, has interesting build-up at the end, but I'm still not sure if this is really the direction I want them to go. But, you know, it is what it is. I had fun with this film overall. I thought it was just fine, but not really something I'll ever watch again. Just watch the first one. Coming in at number 5 was the first film that was released this month in January, and it's surprising actually how good this film was. That is The Damned. Now, this was a first week of January release, and usually those tend to be the worst ones. Like, think about like Night Swim from a year ago, and then remember the 355. We have films like that, Texas Chainsaw 3D. Like, those were like first week in January releases, and boy, those ones were bad. But then we get some surprise hits like Megan and like The Damned. I thought this one had some really creepy atmosphere. I thought it was really well done. Some really solid performances and some good scares. I thought the film was honestly kind of slow in parts, especially for an hour and a half. It honestly felt kind of slow. And there were some times where there were some side characters I really just could not get into. And also some pretty much some tropey horror cliches that I won't really get into. But it was still a really solid film that had some really good tension. So I would recommend watching this one. Coming in at number 4, I technically saw this film yesterday, but I still want to include it on this list because, I mean, I still want to talk about it. Number 4 is Dogman. I thought this film was just so adorable. Like, if you guys saw my full review, I really enjoyed this movie. I really don't know. I don't really have too many complaints aside from some jokes being a bit drawn out and it feeling pretty predictable at times. And also kind of felt overstuffed in the third act, but I really enjoyed this. As for someone who grew up also reading the Captain Underpants books, I read the first little comic strip that was in the final Captain Underpants book of Dogman, and I think they did a really good job of kind of illustrating that for this film. I mean, the animation alone just screams like the vibes of Captain Underpants. So yeah, I mean, DreamWorks is just on a hot streak as of lately, especially with films like The Wild Robot or Puss in Boots: The Last Wish and The Bad Guys. So, yeah, I cannot wait to see what else DreamWorks has up their sleeve. I mean, especially since we got their live-action How to Train Your Dragon coming up, and also The Bad Guys 2, which, by the way, if you guys have seen that Bad Guys short, they played it before Dogman, so check it out. It's really funny. But yeah, Dogman was a really adorable film, and this is one of those films I could liken to Migration, where it's like, if I'm having a really bad day and I just need something to cheer me up, I'll throw it on, like, and I won't be bothered with it. Like, it's easy breezy, and it's something that could just cheer me up. So I really enjoyed this movie. I don't know what else you want me to say, but yeah, I had a great time with this film. Check it out this weekend, or check it out in theaters whenever you can. Coming in at number 3, I know this one technically is a 2024 film because it premiered at festivals in 2024, but it was released more wide to the public this year on Netflix. So I'm gonna count this one on the list. Number 3 is Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance Most Foul. As a huge fan of Wallace and Gromit, I could not wait to see what they were going to do, especially bringing back Feathers McGraw. This actually picks up after the second short where Feathers McGraw was introduced, which is The Wrong Trousers. So I couldn't wait. I mean, I love Aardman. I really enjoyed like some of their previous work, like Early Man, and I also really enjoyed the new Chicken Run. I thought that was really solid. So I couldn't wait to see what Aardman had up their sleeve for another Wallace and Gromit film, because it had been about 20 years since we had gotten The Curse of the Were-Rabbit, and they still have not lost spark at all, dude. Like, I love Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance Most Foul. First off, the animation is gorgeous. That's something I forgot to point out with Dogman. Like, the animation on that is gorgeous. Same thing with this one. Like, the claymation, the stop motion animation is phenomenal. I mean, the voice work is great. I love seeing Feathers McGraw. I wish we got a little bit more of him. That's honestly really my only little gripe with the film. We didn't really get enough of him, but for what we got of him, I thought was great, but I just wanted a little bit more of him. Not really too much to complain about with Vengeance Most Foul. Like I said, as a huge Wallace and Gromit fan, this is pretty much what I could ask for. So if you guys have Netflix and you love Wallace and Gromit, check it out. Coming in at number 2 is so far is easily the most divisive film on this list. Number 2 for me is Wolfman. Now, when everybody heard that Leigh Whannell was making a Wolfman movie, everyone was like losing their marbles, including myself. I mean, I was really excited, especially with how the trailer sold it. I was like, wow, okay, seemed like he still got the spark. And when the early reviews for this film came out, they were actually quite mixed, and I was like, oh no, please don't suck. I mean, I really, really loved this movie. Like, I really don't know what else to say. I loved the new approach they took with the story. I actually did not mind the design, the final design of the Wolfman. I actually thought it was really cool, and I love the practical effects on it. Some people would say it's CGI. It's practical effects. I mean, why wouldn't it be for this kind of movie? Like, I loved this. I mean, Christopher Abbott and Julia Garner, I thought, were incredible in the film. I love the creepy atmosphere, the dark feeling, the dark tones. This kind of felt more like a Wolfman version of The Fly. This kind of felt like that. I mean, I'm not going to complain. It definitely leans more into like kind of the body horror kind of side of it. Same thing with like what The Fly did. And I really like that approach that Leigh Whannell took with it. Like, I really could not complain with how he took it. I mean, there was honestly just a couple of pacing issues within the first act, but once the accident happens, I think that's when the film really starts to pick up steam and gets better from then on out. So, I loved Wolfman. If you guys, it is still playing in theaters right now. If you guys have it in your area, please go check it out. I promise it's really, really good. Coming in at number 1, the easiest number 1, for freaking sure, is Companion. And this one snuck in like right at the end of the month for me. I was excited for this film just based off of the cast. Man, I stayed away from most of the marketing if I could. Like, from any of the marketing that I really could. Because some people have said that the second trailer spoiled a twist. And I was like, oh no way, can't do that. But yeah, I thought this film was absolutely genius. This is from the same creative team behind the horror masterclass Barbarian, and it definitely shows, especially for the type of movie that it is. Like, it's one of those films that you don't know exactly what you're expecting if you didn't watch the trailer. And like, it'll take you for loops. Like, you don't know what you're in for, and then there's this definitely like, oh shit kind of moment. There definitely is those types of moments in this movie that you don't see coming, but man, I loved what they did with that, and I thought Sophie Thatcher and Jack Quaid were incredible in this. Sophie Thatcher is my new Scream Queen. I love her with stuff like The Boogeyman and Heretic. She's proven herself, dude. She's awesome. And like I said, Jack Quaid's great. I definitely want to see more stuff in the horror genre with Jack Quaid. After Scream and now this, I can't wait to see what else he does in the future. That is my ranking of every film from January 2025. What is your ranking? Let me know down in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button once again and that notification bar next to it so you never miss a post. Hit that thumbs up and share this video. You guys know what to do. Anyways, guys, that's all for me today. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace!